Hello everyone, welcome to the session once again. In today's topic, let's talk about for loop in Java, which is a control statement, type of control statement. In the last session or in the last couple of sessions, we have already started with these control statements in Java topic, where we have seen decision making statement, if else, switch, and then we have also started with loop statements while and do while. The third type of the loop statement is for loop. Let's start with that in this topic. What is the definition of loop? We have already seen for while and do while, right? It is used to iterate a part of the program several times. So same we for loop also does. But when we need to use then for loop, when the number of iterations is fixed, okay, when the number of iterations is fixed, it is recommended to use the for loop instead of while loop. If iterations are not fixed, then use the while loop. Okay. So let's understand the syntax now. This is a for loop syntax where we have to use for as a word, okay, which is highlighted in blue. This is syntax for the keyword for loop. Then bracket. In bracket, we have a three parts. First part or first statement, you can say initialization. Second, condition, and third statement is increment or decrement. If you see in between the each of the statement, we have to use semicolon. So initialization semicolon, condition semicolon, increment and decrement. Then we have open and close curly braces, and here it is the nothing but the body of the for loop. Let's understand each part in detail. First is initialization. This is the first part of the loop which is executed once when the loop starts. It's very important. See, you can see this is the first part of the for loop. As soon as the cursor comes in the for loop, it goes here in initialization part is and it execute only once. After it execution, it never comes again here because this is known as the initialization part. It is used to initialize the variable, or we can use an already initialized variables. Okay. Second part is condition. This is the second condition of the loop or second part of the loop which defines the condition for executing the code of block. This defines the executing the code of the block. Executing the code of block means body of the for loop. It continues the execution until the condition is false. So whenever we have this condition true, it will go inside the body of the for loop, it will execute. As soon as it becomes false, it will stop executing the for loop and it will come outside the for loop. It must return boolean value either true and false, and based on these boolean values, it will decide whether to execute for and uh, come out of the for. So this is the second part. Third part, we have body of the loop or code inside the loop. It is executed every time until the condition is false. Correct? So here I have given the sequence based on how for loop works. So this is the first, second, third, and fourth is increment or decrement. It increments or decrements the variable value. Fourth part, okay, increment or decrement. It execute each time after the code of the block has been executed. Okay, so that's what like the I wanted to explain the logic. This becomes the first part to execute for the for loop. Then second condition, if it is true, it will go inside the for loop and it will execute the code of the block. Then it will go to the fourth part. Okay. Once increment decrement done, again it will go to the condition. Now it will not come to initialization again because as we have explained, as I have explained in the this is the first part, and this execute only once. So after condition, code of the block. Again increment decrement condition block. So it will execute like this 2 3 4 2 3 4 2 3 4. Okay, after initialization obviously. So how the execution of the for loop happens: first, second, third, fourth. After this 2 3 4 2 3 4. Let's understand this in detail by Java example, by writing the Java example. So Let's start with very simple example. Let's write the program to print integers from 1 to 5. So I have already created a class. So we all know how to create a class. So not to waste time, I have created a for loop class. So we have to write for keyword. Okay. Then in the bracket, first initialization part, right? So integer I want to print values from 1 to 5. So I have to start with 1, then semicolon. So this is the first statement, initialization. Okay, second, condition. Now condition will depend what I want to perform. So I want to print one values, integer values from 1 to 5. So I will give the condition like I less than equal to 5, semicolon. This is the condition, correct? And third part is what? Increment or decrement. Now I want to print from 1 to 5, so obviously I need to increment the value. Okay, then open and curly brace, body of the for loop. Let's print these values of I. Okay, so like I have said, this will execute first, then it will check the condition, it will come here, and then it will increment, decrement, whatever. So here we have given increment, it will increment, then again it will check the condition, it will go here, again it will check the condition until the condition is false. Okay, so let's run this and let's see the output. See 1 2 3 4 5. Let's understand how it works. Okay, first it has initialized integer I equal to 1. Okay, then what it will check? The condition. Is 1 less than equal to 5? Yes, it will print the value of I. So this is a 1. Then it will increment by 1 by 1, that is 2. Now I value becomes 2. Is 2 less than equal to 5? Yes, it will print 2. Now 2 becomes 3, it will increment it by 1, right? So 2 becomes 3. Is 3 less than equal to 5? Yes, it will print 3. Then it will become 4. Is 4 less than equal to 5? Yes, it will print 4. Then 4 becomes 5. Now the value of I is 5. Now see, 5 is less than equal to 5. Yes, because it is equal to, right? So condition will be satisfied. It will go inside the body of the for loop. It will print. It will come here. It will increment I by 1. So the current value will become 6. Okay. Now is 6 less than equal to 5? No. The condition become false. So it will not execute here. It will come out of the for loop. So that's why we have got this particular output 1 2 3 4 5. Correct. Let's print. Let's take another example. So this was a very simple example. Let's print even numbers from 0 to 10. Let's see how it is work. For loop, again I'll initialize first, 0 semicolon. Now I want to print even numbers starting from 0 to 10. So I less than equal to 10. Okay, it should start from 0. Okay, and it should print till 10, even numbers from 0 to 10. So including 0 and including 10. So I am taking initialization or I am initializing I to 0 and equal to 10. Okay, if less than 10, then I have taken I less than 10, but we also want 10, right? So I less than equal to 10. And now see, I want to increment, see even number. What are the even numbers? 0 2 4, correct? So I will increment it by 2. So I equal to I plus 2, sorry, I plus 2, correct? So this is my for loop. Okay, so this is the increment part. Okay, so let's print this I. Okay, see 0 2 4 6 8 10. Again I equal to 0, 0 less than equal to 10. Yes, it will print. Then this time what was the value of 0 in I initially? 0. 0 plus 2, 2. Then 2 is less than equal to 10. Yes, it will print 2. Now 2 plus 2, 4. The new value of I becomes 4. Is 4 less than equal to 10? Yes, 4. Then 6, 8, 10. Till 10, 10 equal 10 less than equal to 10? Yes, it will print 10. 10 plus 2, 12. Now I becomes 12. Now see, 12 is 12 less than equal to 10? No, condition become false. It will not go in for loop body. Okay, so it will come out, and that's why we are getting 0 to 10. Okay, so I hope you have understood for loop very clearly. Let's see what is a nested loop. Okay, in Java we have another for loop type, that is nested loop. If we have for loop inside the another for loop, it is known as a nested for loop, because nested means what? We have something on outside, and inside that we have something, so that is known as nested. Or in simple word I can say, we have the outer and we have the inner part. Okay, so that is known as a nested for loop. Okay, the no so obviously this inner loop executes completely whenever outer loop executes. Let's see the example. So again I have created a class. Let's print outer and inner loop here. Okay, so for that what I will do is I will write one for loop for integer. Let's initialize I equal to 1. Okay, semicolon, I less than or equal to 2, and I plus plus. So what I am doing over here, sorry, what I'm doing over here, I want to print this or execute this outer loop for 2 times. Okay, let's print this first. Print this is the outer loop. Okay, and here I'll use the inner loop. So see now how I'm giving the inner loop. Now this time I have to use another variable, because inside I'm using, right? So I have to take the another variable, j equal to 1. Okay, j less than or equal to, let's print this also 2 times. Okay, and then j plus plus. So this is the inner loop, for loop, correct? Let's print this. This is the inner loop. Yeah, if you see, this for loop starts from here and ends here, and this is the inner loop. Okay, let's try to print this. Okay, so this is the outer loop. See, this is the outer loop, and this is the inner loop we have printed 2 times, and then again it will go, because this initialization we are starting from 1, so this is the first, and then second we have, then up to 2, then we have the second. Let me print like this, so you will understand in a better manner. Let me explain in detail. Let me give the breakpoints. Okay, and let's understand this by running the debug mode. So if you see over here, cursor is coming here. Okay, now the cursor is coming in for loop. It has came inside the for loop, correct? Okay, now it has print, this is the outer loop. If this condition is true, the outer for loop has been executed, and then it will come to the inner part of the for loop. Now it will again initialize j is equal to 1. Is 1 less than equal to 2? Yes, it will print this. See, yes, again it will go here. The value of j was 1, it will become 2. Is 2 less than equal to 2? Yes, again it will print. If you see, let me just step over. Yes, the inner, this is the inner loop, second time we have printed. Now it will again come over here. 2 becomes 3. Is 3 less than equal to 2? No, it will go to the outer part of the loop, because it will not execute, because this condition becomes false, so inner loop will not execute. So let me step over. It has gone to the outer loop. Now what was the ith value of outer loop? I equal to 1. Now it will become 2. Is 2 less than equal to 2? Yes, it will go inside and it will print this. This is the outer loop. Now it has come to inner loop. J becomes 1. Is 1 less than equal to 2? Yes, it will print the inner loop. Now j becomes 2. we have incremented, right? 2 less than equal to 2, yes, it will print. Now 2 becomes 3. Is 3 less than equal to 2? No. So it will come out of this for loop. Now it will come over here. Now what was the value of this I? It was 2. Now it will increment by 1. So the latest value of I will become 3, and this will become false. It will come out of the loop. Correct? And this is how nested loop executes. So I hope you have understood the for loop, nested for loop. Correct? Let me know if you have any questions in the comment box. Thank you so much.